Hey everyone, welcome back to the Excel series by the Data Monk. In today's video, we are going to talk about pivot table and charts in Excel. It is very important for us to first understand this basic concept to build any kind of dashboards that we want for our data analysis in Excel. So, pivot tables is one of the basic tool you need to understand for data analysis. It can answer your very important business questions, analytical questions within seconds without using formulas. Yes, you don't need to have, you don't need to mug up formulas, Excel formulas to create pivot tables, although you can use them to create your dashboard, but that is why we are using pivot tables. It makes your work very, very, very easy and you get your answers within seconds. You just do a click and you get your answers. So for us to make dashboard easily, we need to understand how to make pivot table from existing tables, what are they and how we can use them for our analysis. Alright, so I'll just give you a simple definition. We can define pivot table as flexible tables. Why flexible? Because you can change it according to your requirement. So you can't, it is advisable that you don't touch or don't make modifications to your raw data, but with pivot table you can make modifications according to your requirements. You can sort the data or whatever way you want to organize your data, you can do that using the pivot table. So pivot tables are flexible tables which are used to summarize, find grand total or group or sort your data in a table according to the requirement. Alright, so you can basically store summary of a specific data in a condensed manner. Now, now let us try and make our own pivot table with the data given to us. Consider we have this following table. So we have this following table, it's called food sales, wherein we have the order date, when the order was placed. Then we have the region which is divided into west and east only. Then we have name of the cities, that is Boston, Los Angeles, New York, all these cities, San Diego, all these cities that we have. Then we have the categories. We have categories of the product. So the category is bar and the product is carrot. Similarly, the category is crackers and the product is whole wheat. Then we have cookies, that is chocolate chips. So we have all range of category and products with us. This is a huge data for us to analyze, right? So there are like 245 fields that we have. Then we have quantity of each product, we have unit price of each product, and then we have total price of each product, right? This is the data that has been given to us. Now, before you create a pivot table, always remember that none of the rows or columns should be blank. So whenever you are creating your pivot tables, make sure that the data that you have, it shouldn't be blank. So all the fields should be filled. You cannot make a pivot table with blank rows or columns. Alright. Now, this is our raw data. Now to create your pivot table, all you need to do is go on the insert option in the bar and click on pivot table. That's all you need to do. Alright. So in the table range, you need to select your entire table. So if you see, we have these dancing lines across our entire table. So our table has been selected, and if you see, you can see the name here, sales data. Alright. Now we have another option that we need to choose if you want to make the pivot table in a new worksheet or the existing worksheet. So here we'll be making it in the existing worksheet only. I'll click on that, and now you need to choose the column where you need to show that pivot table. So you can choose any random column here. Say I want to have my pivot table here in N43. So it will select that, and I'll just click on OK. So if you see, we have got an option for pivot table. All right, so these are your pivot table fields that you'll get whenever you insert a pivot table. There are four blocks for you, which is filter, column. Filter means the way you want to filter your data. Columns means which particular attribute you want as your column. You want order date as your column, you want region as your column. All you need to do is just drag these into these particular blocks and it will be adjusted according to that. Then you have rows, what kind of rows that you need in your pivot table, and the values. Always remember, in the values block you can only add the number columns that you have. For example, in this table the number columns are the order date, the quantity, the unit price, and the total price, if you see. So in the values block you can only add the number values. Other than that, in rows, column, filter, you can add it according to you, according to your requirement. So I'll show you how you can create a pivot table. Consider that I want a table which tells me the category of food that was sold and how much in a particular city. So I need to see the category of food that was sold in a particular city. What will I do is, say in the rows block I'll add my category, because I want to see the price. I want to see the price category wise, quantity wise, sorry. So I'll add in the rows block I'll add categories. So now if you can see, we have all the categories, that is bar, cookies, crackers, and snacks. These were our categories. Now in the column I'll add the city, because I need to see it according to the city, right? So if you see, we have got all the cities, that is Boston, Los Angeles, and if you see, you'll always get this grand total option here. So this is the use of pivot table, to just summarize your entire data in a condensed manner. Now I need to find the what is the value that I need to find. I need to find the quantity, because I need to find out how much a particular category was sold in a city. So I'll just choose the quantity column here. All I need to do is just drag it into my values column, and here is our data. If you see, I have created my pivot table within seconds, and you have all your data without using any formula, or without using anything that is complicated or was difficult to understand. All you needed to do was insert a table and drag it according to your requirements. The main point here is to understand which field to drag into what column, so that you get your desired result. So if you see, we have got a table, we have the rows as our categories, we have columns as our cities, and then we have the quantity also, and we have the grand total of each quantity as well. So if you see, bars were sold, most number of bars were sold in Boston only. Okay, and the total number of items that were sold in Boston was this much. So this is how you can see your entire data in a summarized form. You can even make changes here, like you can sort it in ascending or descending order. You can remove the cities, like if you want to remove, say, there's an exception that you don't want to see for Boston or New York, you can remove this. So you can sort this according, you can apply filters according to you, in the rows also and in the columns also. So this was our first pivot table. Now I want to also show you side by side how you can create a chart for that. All you need to do is, you have these options here. You have an option for a column chart, you have an option for a line chart, you have an option for a pie chart. So first I'll start with the column chart. All you need to do is just click here and choose what kind of chart you want for your pivot table. I'll just click on that, and if you see, we have got the chart that we wanted, right? Just a second. Here we have our chart, right? This is our pivot table, and this is the chart that we wanted. You can even make changes to your chart. You can edit this, you can change the colors, or you can make any other changes that you need. But if you see, we have got city wise, category wise, our quantity of each product. All right. So this is how simple it was to create a pivot table along with your chart. Now, I want to create another pivot table for you for another example. Let us say I have selected my entire table. You can do that with Control and A. Now I'll insert another pivot table, pivot, existing worksheet. I'll just choose this column, say N4. I chose this column. I'll click on OK. And this is how you can create our another pivot table. Now consider I want this another table which shows me category wise unit price of each item. That is what I want. Okay, as simple as that. In the rows block, let me put the category, because I want category wise unit price of each item. So I want unit price. In the values, I'll add unit price. So we have got the sum of unit price also, right? Now we want it, say earlier we did it according to the city. Say here I'll just choose the region. So in the column I'll add region, and if you see we have two regions only, which is east and west. So I have got the category wise unit price of each item according to the region. So all I need to do was just drag my attributes into particular blocks, and this is what we have. Also here you can even apply a filter. So for example, if I add order date into filter, for by default it will select all of your order dates only, but from here you can keep and remove the dates according to you. So for example, I didn't want any of the dates which were 4, 7 and 10th of January, so I can easily remove them, and then it will show me the data accordingly. So you'll see the changes will be made to the data simultaneously. You don't need to put any of the formulas, it will be done directly for you. Alright, so this was a second table example. Similarly here also you can just add a chart. For example, here I'll add a line chart. So you can choose any kind of chart that you want. I'll add a simple line chart here, and if you see, we can see the west and east categories according to I think unit price that we set, right? So you have got the chart for that as well. As simple as that. You can see how easy it is to create your pivot tables according with the charts. Now these tables and these charts will, when we'll collate them together, you can easily get your dashboard. This is the whole purpose of using pivot table charts, to create your dashboard and use them for data analysis according to the requirement of your company, right? Now I just want you to consider this one last example. So I am just selecting my entire table. I'm inserting pivot table and existing worksheet. I want to create another pivot table. Say here I want to create another pivot table. I'll click OK. So here we have our another pivot table. Now this last table, consider here I want to create a table which shows me total price of each product individually as well as categorically. Okay, so I just want to see the total price of each product. So what I'll do is, rows, in the rows column I'll add category as well as product. Why? Because I want to see the total price of each product individually. So I have added product here, and as well as categorically. So I have added categories also. So if you can see, within bars we have banana, bran and carrot. Within cookies we have arrowroot, chocolate chip and oatmeal. So it has divided my entire rows accordingly. And now I just want to see the total price of each of them individually as well as categorically. So what I'll do is, in the values column I'll just add my total price. As simple as that. You can see within minutes you were able to now create your pivot table, get the data, and here it is. Now you can just create a chart for it. Just click on insert, and this time we'll create a pie chart. I'll choose a simple pie chart here, and here it is. So we have got your chart. Now even if you want to make some changes to the design of your chart, you can just directly choose from here. So for example, I want the numbers to be displayed on my chart, so I can directly choose the design from above. There are number of designs that you can choose from, right? According to your requirements, you can choose any number of charts. This is, I think, more visible and catchy, and I even like this one with the black background and little 3D effect that we have here. So we have another chart with our pivot table. So this was our video about pivot table and charts. I hope I was able to make you understand this concept, because this is very important. When in next video we'll be creating our dashboards, it is important that you understand how we create pivot tables and how we create charts according to the requirements. So now that we have a basic understanding of pivot tables and chart, we can jump on to creating our own dashboards. In the next video, we'll be creating an entire dashboard from a given data. So stay tuned and looking forward to see you all there. Have a good day.